Oh hey, it's me, Ant-Man. Oh god. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit, not gonna lie. I am truly deeply sorry for that. Alright, one sec. Alright, I'm back. Hey guys, Colin the Big Yoshi here, and welcome to the end of Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Today we're going to be talking about Ant-Man, one of my personal favorites. Alright, so I'm going to be gushing about this movie a lot because this is actually one of my favorite MCU films, and I couldn't tell you why. It's just, I love it so much. I know that they don't have great villains like the Ant-Man movies. I know that they're small scale or whatever. I love them, okay? Whatever. Yeah, my favorite thing about this movie is the cast. All of the characters are super likable and very real. The best example is Scott. Scott Lang is perfectly played by Paul Rudd. Like, you couldn't imagine anyone else playing him. He's that perfect. And he's one of the funniest characters in the MCU, I think. And he's also a very real character because he has a daughter named Cassie, and he doesn't get to see her a lot because he's divorced. And since he's a crook, he's in jail all the time, and he wants to turn over a new leaf so that he can see his daughter again. And it's just very sad because he realizes that he can't until he pays child support. But he can't pay child support because he can't get a job. So it creates this really emotional scenario where you feel for the guy. This movie also introduces Hope Van Dyne and Hank Pym on Scott Lang's team. Now, Hope Van Dyne is played by Evangeline Lilly, and she plays it pretty well. She's not, I don't really like Hope. Hope is okay in this movie. I like her a lot better in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but she's alright in this movie. I don't mind her. And she has this, emotional thing as well, where she's just mad at her dad the entire movie because he won't let her wear the Ant-Man costume, and he won't tell her how her mother died and stuff. And it's just really emotional as well. And then we have her dad and Scott's mentor, Hank Pym. And it is revealed that Hank has been a superhero basically the entire time, being Ant-Man, doing his thing. And that's actually just kind of cool. And he has an emotional story because he had to distance himself from Hope because he just can't bear to tell her. He wants to protect her by not telling her what happened to her mom, and by not letting her wear the suit. And he's played by Michael Douglas, and he plays it really well. And he also has connections to another character named Darren Cross, who is the main villain. And he kind of gives off these Obadiah Stane vibes, but I think that this one wasn't executed as well. They just kind of give a dumb explanation for why he's evil. It's the shrinking particles are making him crazy. But I guess it is kind of justified in the story because they say that if you're exposed to the particle and not wearing a helmet, it makes you go crazy basically. Which, fair enough. I just think that Obadiah Stane was handled a little bit better. He has actual motivations though, because he's mad at Hank Pym because Hank wouldn't tell him the secret of the Pym particle, which is what powers the Ant-Man suit. They also have a few side characters that are Scott's friends, Louise, Kurt, and Dave. And Dave and Kurt don't really do anything, they're just side characters. But they're kind of charming, I guess. But Louise, played by Michael Pena, is just really funny. He is one of the reasons why this is one of the funniest MCU movies, honestly. And all of these characters are just played great. Paul Rudd is great. I just want to say I love Paul Rudd. I think he's a goddamn national treasure. Uh, Evangeline Lilly's good. Michael Douglas is good. Corey Stoll is good. Oh yeah, he's the one who plays Darren Cross. Michael Pena's good. They're all good. And there is one more character thing that I do kind of want to talk about. I like the character of Paxton, the stepdad of Cassie. I read, this was in a YouTube comment that I read, and it's like, it actually makes a lot of sense, and I never really noticed it. Like, in every movie, you have the dad who was, he had to get divorced, and then the stepdad is usually some cowardly, mean guy that would run away if their kid was getting hurt or whatever, but like, Paxton isn't like that. He's like an actual good father to Cassie, and he's not, he doesn't just run away from danger just so Scott can look better, basically. Another thing I love about this movie is that it's a heist movie, and it's really refreshing, actually. It's just crazy how many genres are in the MCU, considering they're all superhero movies. Like, people say they're similar, but we have like a heist movie, a political thriller, a war movie, all of those. And they're all great. I guess I just really like heist movies, I don't know. And also, yeah, once again, I'm just going to say this movie's hilarious. One of the funniest in the MCU, in my opinion. And this movie is also like, it's weird. I don't think anybody had confidence in this movie when it first came out. Like, when there was trailers for it and stuff, because Ant-Man, like, I even thought, like, I think one of my parents told me about Ant-Man, and I was like, Ant-Man? That sounds stupid. But honestly, he's such a likable character. And he's played so well, and he's so funny. And even the power that he has is just cool. Like, being able to shrink, that's just cool. And also following in the trend of being small, I guess. The movies is smaller, it has like a smaller scale compared to the other ones. Like, Age of Ultron came right before this, and it was about the extinction of all humans. And then we have a heist movie. The smaller scale is part of the charm, I think, and the movie's definitely a nice little addition to the MCU. Also, because of Ant-Man's power of shrinking, every fight scene in this movie is great. Like, I'm not joking. I think that every fight scene is good. We have the one where Scott infiltrates the Avengers facility and he has to fight Falcon. I love the one where him and Yellow Jacket are in the suitcase. Like, that one is just great. Even though it's kind of short. And, of course, the best one is the train. The train scene is so good. Like, I don't know, it's just so funny. They accidentally grow the train. It's just great. And a few last things, I guess. The CGI in this movie is really unique because whenever Scott shrinks down, the background blurs and stuff, and it's a really cool effect. And this movie definitely has one of the coolest looking scenes in the MCU. Except for Doctor Strange, like, this is the best, I think. The scene where Scott goes into the quantum realm, it's so visually stunning, like, honestly. And also, there's some really great de-aging in this movie. It's one of the first movies to de-age people, and Michael Douglas looks really cool de-aged. Like, that's just what he used to look like, I'm pretty sure, in real life, and it looks really accurate. And some more last things, I guess. You have some connections to Hydra and Avengers, like the people that Cross is trading the Yellow Jacket suit with. Apparently they're part of Hydra, and they go to the Avengers base, obviously. The new one that was in the end of Age of Ultron. Also, this movie sets up Spider-Man by saying that we have a guy that can crawl up walls and swing, and it sets up Ant-Man and the Wasp because they go into the quantum realm. They talk about the Wasp's death, who is Hank's old wife. You can see her silhouette in the scene where he goes into the quantum realm, and in the post-credit scene, you see the Wasp suit that Evangeline Lilly, aka Hope Van Dyne, will wear in the movie. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I love watching this movie over and over again. It's rewatchable for me, like very rewatchable. And it's one of my favorite movies in the MCU. But I know it's not perfect. The villain's a little dumb. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. One of my personal favorites. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this review, then maybe leave a like and subscribe. That would be pretty cool. Have a good day, guys. See you later.